Okay, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me double check on my YouTube thing. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, you can. Just making sure. It's a little delayed on the TV. I don't know why. But yeah, welcome to this live stream today. It is Friday, August 23rd, 2024. I'm gonna double check, make sure everything is up to snuff here. Super chats, guys, are open. If you want to help out in that area, it'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, super chats are open. Also, like the video, hit the bell for notifications, and subscribe to the channel. It will really help me out in the long run, guys. Also, click on the links in the description. One goes to my some of them go to my Teespring store. Check out my Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. Also, check out the links where you'll be able to find my content elsewhere outside of YouTube, especially when I post it after it's kind of settled in, especially if it's a live stream, because it takes about 12 or something hours before you can upload it, as a podcast or, a new video at the other platforms. But anyway, yeah, you see the title for the video, and yes, what a week it has been for FurAffinity, FurAffinity, if you will. It's not the easiest word for me to say, or easiest name for me to say, but yeah, what a week it's been for FurAffinity, FA, if you will. Basically, as I've gone over before and others have gone over, what happened, in case you guys may not know, and you have FA accounts, FurAffinity accounts, what happened is basically this past Tuesday, August 20th, mostly late, from what I'm understanding, trying to still piece a lot of stuff together. From what I'm understanding, late Monday night, August 19th, going into August 20th, this past Tuesday, what happened is that an individual who was identified, according to some reports, by the initials SH. I mean, they did identify the full name, but I'm going to go with SH as their name, as we're going to acknowledge them. But an individual by the name of SH decided to hack the entire FA website, and everybody found this out because apparently, from I'm gonna go online, I'm gonna look up some information here, guys. I do apologize if there's any lag, especially in the vocalness here, but I'm gonna go to the comment section here on my channel, and basically, according to some people that commented on my initial video, well, one person anyway, one person by the name of Emma Peel or Emma Pre. She basically said that she found out, and she commented about an hour ago. But she said, and this is user Emma Pre. She said in a comment to my initial video, she said that she found out about a sign of hacks because she wanted to explore it. Basically, I guess she wanted to explore the website FurAffinity, and it kept teleporting her to the shop when she typed in the FurAffinity things. The next day she found out the next day she found the image, which was the thumbnail that I used in that video in this live stream, because she found out because of a YouTuber. Now, others have, like I said, other reports have come out as to what happened and everything, and basically, if I can do this without my computer acting up a little bit. But basically, according to reports, um, so it says here, this is from Distractforay, if you will, Distractforay, and others as well. Uh, Basically, according to Distractforay, and others. Basically, it was hacked. It was hacked. FurAffinity was hacked in a DNS hijacking attack. It says furry art platform FurAffinity was taken over by hackers. Do not interact with the website. That was 2 days ago. Now, like I said, within the past 24 hours, literally 24 hours, FurAffinity went back online, and this is some people actually at the FurAffinity and DeviantArt places that are talking about it. And we're going to go to FurAffinity because I do have an account there. I've had an account there since about 2007, before I moved back here. According to this one person, FoxTide88, they posted this 12 hours ago. They said, we may know who hacked FA. Now, this is what they do say. They say that they want to point out that this information isn't concrete yet. But if it is accurate, the person has made enemies of a lot of people. Now, they've recently been informed. By Prometheus Hunter 2 that the hacker was someone called, and the initials, I'm not going to say the full name, but someone called SH. Basically, an internet troll, an open furry hater. Now, I went on record in my video when I talked about this, my audio video and podcast where I talked about this, and I said it could be, because somebody else commented about this at inkbunny.net, and that was one place outside of other safe social media outlets. That was like one main place outside DeviantArt and other safe social media outlets that you could get updates as to what was going on. Well, basically, somebody at inkbunny.net commented that the person or the group was with a bunch of anti-furries. Basically, people that don't like, individuals that support the furry community or the furry fandom. Just like there, as I've mentioned before, just like there are those that don't support the people, men and women, grown people like me and you, that like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic or My Little Pony Tell Your Tale or Make Your Mark, because they find it weird and unjustified, or it's basically, to me, I think the reason they find it weird and unjustified is because they don't understand it. Like I said before, in the previous video where I talked about what happened to FurAffinity, and then when I talked about it being back online, these are people that don't want to take time out to kind of just sit back, contemplate, and ask themselves, okay, there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason why people love supporting this community and this fandom, but what is it? They don't do that. They just want to hate for hating. And mostly, if it is trolls, a lot of research has shown that those internet trolls are just a bunch of young kids. Young kids that are either entering high school, entering middle school, entering college. That's what they are. That's what they are. So, anyway, that's what one person said it could be behind this, and apparently they were right. But continuing on with what FoxTide88, or Foxtide 888, I should say, or Foxtide 888 had to say, or Foxtide for short. This is what they had to say, and I quote. This is what they had to say again, and I quote. That they had been recently informed by Prometheus Hunter 2 that the hacker was someone called SH. Now, those are the initials of the full name. Basically, an internet troll and open furry hater. I only have info I was previously linked to, but apparently this guy views the entire furry community as, pedos or something worse. And he's also some sort of alternative far-right ring nut, and possibly self-believed SJW. Being from a conservative family myself, this blank hole gives Republicans a very bad name. And now that he's been doxxed, basically banned, his life has probably been effed up 6 ways to Sunday. You do not mess with an entire community and not expect severe backlash. FurAffinity may sue him for damages and loss of revenue, which ironically may be the least of his problems. Once you're outed as a hacker, good luck getting any kind of good job in the tech field. This guy might become a poster child for the internet, for quote, the internet ruined my life. But he did it to himself. Either way, the furry community is vast, and SH may want to run because he has no idea where we are. Could it be that guy or that one over there? Who knows? Even in prison, this guy would not be safe. He could end up sharing a cell with a big hairy guy named called Butch, called Butch, basically. Now, obviously, they're just venting there. They're not trying to, say, oh, we want harm to this person. They're just venting. And anybody that has an account at FurAffinity, would be, wanting to vent the frustration. They would. Now, here's another one posted 15 hours ago. This is by Birthday Baby Fur. Yeah, that's their name, Birthday Baby Fur. Birthday Baby Fur or whatever. BBF for short. It says FurAffinity is back after the hacking. Okay, this is the title of what they say. This is FurAffinity FA is back after the hacking situation. And this is what they say, and I quote: "This shows you that you should not trust yourself or let your guard down, like FA did, who on Twitter said there was nothing to worry about who said on Twitter, x.com, that there was nothing to worry about, and the next day the page had been blocked for suspicion of pillaging, a hack that could steal sensitive information from users. And a few days later, FA recovered the domain, but the page itself had not yet returned until today. And one thing is clear, that FA must protect itself more. Okay, let me read that. Okay, let me read. It says, one thing is clear, that FA must protect itself more for this type of attacks that violate the page, and that in themselves usually cause a lot of money to be lost. They have not happened. A few days since this hacking situation, and many artists, after the hacking, have taken the measure of sharing links to the other pages in case at some point the same situation occurs. Do not take them off guard or for the obvious reasons. I will not be the exception. This. Well, they said it differently. You kind of get what they're saying. All right. So next up, we have this is another journal about 24 hours ago. This is by Royce Fox, and they say, I might set up an alternative spot. Okay, this is what they said a day ago. They said, I might set up an alternative spot next time FA gets hacked. And then this is what they said in their journal, I quote, What colorful week it has been. Some failed cringy edgelord hacked FA only to get exposed and basically banned and condemned by furries. I'm not going to say the other word they put. But this got me thinking. If FA falls for good, where else could I be found? Maybe DeviantArt? DA? But I left since the place fell so far from its glory days and resembles the cool kid you knew from high school that fell down real hard. For the time being, I'm going to be shopping for alternate sites should FA fall for good. But for the time being, I have 2 available alternative socials, and then they give the social at Blue Sky. Now, that's not all. Let's see what else do we have here. Let's see what we have. Okay, another one. Okay, that's not going to be in the database. That's taken off. Okay, but what they're saying here, Google has some of it, but what they're saying here is they've been reading what the FurAffinity page, what the FA main page says. I can't get to the thing because they took it down. But anyway, this is what Google has a little bit, as a description for this post at FurAffinity. They said they've been reading what the FurAffinity main page says, and I have read that they are working together with the they have been working together with the FBI to investigate who is to blame for both the hacking and investigating the harassment reports. Now, DeviantArt, someone at DeviantArt has this as well, and they just say that the FA account, FurAffinity is now safe to access again. They've been given the green light. That their FA account is now back on their bio. because they had to take it down. But according to several reports throughout, throughout the past 24 hours, throughout the past week, there's been a lot dealing. There's been a lot with this that really just didn't really sit well with a lot of people. It didn't really sit well with a lot of people and everything. And basically, I'm trying to find a place that I looked up the other day. Um, I think this might have been it. I'm not really sure. Let me check. Well, this is one of them anyway. This is from Distractfurry, and this is an article by Elizabeth Noblet. And this was 2 days ago when they were still when the people that run FA for Affiniate were trying to get it back online. They said that basically up that time, if you were on the Discord server for FurAffinity, you could keep updated there as well, along with Devonaut, InkBuddy, and so on. Uh, Now, this is what they said. It seems that internet hacking is all too common these days, from the government's official Social Security database all the way to independently run websites like FurAffinity. The site is a furry-focused platform for art, literature, and more, and typically used for artists to show off their work and take commissions from fellow furries. The website has been around since 2005. I've been a part of it since around maybe a year or so after, or 2 years after. It says, now though, the page that used to foster community and celebrate creativity has turned into a source of digital danger after being subjected to a major hack. FurAffinity's official team has warned users not to interact with the website for the time being, and fans are anxiously awaiting updates. What happened? Now again, this is 2 days ago. The site's back online. The site is back online, thank goodness. But this is what happened. And this is from Distractfurry. This is what they said. What happened to FurAffinity? This is what they said, and I quote: users first noticed signs of the hack around 1248. Let me reread that. They said, and I quote: what happened to FurAffinity? They said users first noticed signs of the hack around 12:48 a.m. on August 20th, 2024, when the website's domain seemed to go offline. Per screenshots shared by ex-user Hakaplay, who has chronicled the events of the hack on the social media page, the official FurAffinity X account put out a statement to the users confirming concerns. Quote: the reason FurAffinity went offline around 12:48 is due to someone hijacking our account. Then, on the Discord server, the original owners of the platform warned users not to attempt to connect to the website. It appears that someone is trying to redirect our domain to a site that is not associated with FurAffinity. This could lead to a perishing page that mimics our website in appearance. Please avoid visiting our URL or interacting with the website until we provide further updates. Throughout the night, a back and forth seemed to ensue between the original owners and the hackers, during which each party retained control of the domain for a short period of time. It said the hackers also seemed to access FurAffinity's official X page, posting hateful anti-furry sentiments, calling them disgusting freaks, and accusing the website's owner of being a you-know-what, the P word. Now, though, FurAffinity's X account is currently down. As of this writing, the FurAffinity website is still temporary. Let's paraphrase that. As of this article 2 days ago, FurAffinity's website was still temporarily offline. It is now back online. Thank God. When trying to access the site, users will be met with a message saying FurAffinity will return shortly. For more information, please click the official Discord server. We will be posting updates as they become available. Then they go on to mention that FurAffinity did recently lose its founder and owner, Dragoneer, who passed away this month. This is what they say, and I quote: "Just a few weeks ago, before FurAffinity was hacked, the site mourned the passing of its founder and owner, Sean Peach, commonly known as Dragoneer. The company announced the news on its website on August 6th, and again, prayers and condolences out to his family. It says apparently Dragoneer had been struggling with health issues, particularly lung related, and was having difficulty obtaining the health care he needed. In one of his posts on X, he shared a photo of an August 1st doctor visit with an expected out of the pocket payment of over 25,000. Caption: Excuse me while I go throw myself in front of a train. It's unclear whether his passing it's unclear whether his passing was related to a lack of medical care or worsening conditions. Now, that's from Distract Fairy. Now, the more we found out, basically, as well, is essentially, and I've mentioned this before, uh, and I think CG Wall has this, and I'm gonna have to zoom out for a second to take off an advertisement. I'll zoom back in. There we go. But CG Wall, this is where I got the information, the more information that I talked about yesterday in the video. But CJ Wall, not, well, that's the website, a news website, technical website, that is, tech website. Went online. Let me get myself some Pepsi here for a second, guys. Okay, there we go. All right, so here's what CG Wall had to say in their article. 24 hours ago, or at least 24 hours ago, I think. Let me look at the date. Yeah, 10 hours ago. Last updated on the 23rd, today. So they updated it. So here's what they had to say, and I quote. Here's what they had to say, and I quote. FurAffinity.net hacked. The 2024 FurAffinity hack was a domain hijacking attempt on the furry art website FurAffinity by hackers in late 2024. The attack occurred on August 20th of that year, very late night, August 19th into August 20th. With the hacker initially gaining possession of the FurAffinity FA domain name before taking over the site's X/Twitter handle and the handle of the site's late founder, Dragoneer. At one point, the FA hacker attempted to reroute visitors to the Kiwi Farms website, but Kiwi Farms administrators quickly distanced themselves from the breach, calling it a joke at both of their cost. The hacker also attempted to promote cryptocurrencies using FurAffinity's Twitter/X account, posting an image of the crypto wallet that showed $300,000. That showed a $300,000 loss. The post was quickly removed, and furries joked about the hacker losing money on an unsuccessful hacking attempt shortly after. Background: On August 20th, 2024, FurAffinity FurAffinity administrators blogged about the site's domain hacking attempt, alerting users that they could be diverted to a separate site that attempts to extract, I should say. Let me reread that. It says on August 20th, 2024, FurAffinity administrators blogged about the site's domain hacking attempt, about the site domain's hacking attempt. Trying to make sure I read this right. Alerting users that they could be diverted to a separate site that attempts to extract their personal information. It says one ex-user published the news early on August 20th, garnering almost 7,000 likes in a single day. See below. Well, they took that off anyway, but but basically that's what it is. And then you combine all the other information that was put out there. You combine some of the other information put out there, and for some of you an ad will show up, so I do apologize. But basically you combine that with all the other information we found out from who this person is, the fact that they and the group of fellow trolls, if you will, took over not only took down excuse me, took down the website, but also tried to use it to um basically route to Kiwi Farms, and thankfully the administrators at Kiwi Farms are like, "We're not dealing with this. This is a joke. We don't know what this guy is doing." And then to find out that the other thing that this guy was trying to do, not just through the website by rerouting it, but also through the Twitter X account of the founder Dragoneer, as well as the site's other, as well as the site's official account, Twitter account, X account, that they were also, this guy, along with whoever else was working with him, was trying to basically sell cryptocurrencies. And that's another thing I mentioned. That's another thing I mentioned in my videos, or my initial video towards the end. I mentioned that this could also maybe be related. This could also be related to a lot of these people trying to hack into accounts, which on places like YouTube, Rumble, wherever, or in this case, domain websites or community websites like FurAffinity or Deviant, whatever. These people are doing whatever they can to sell you bitcoins and cryptocurrencies because they don't have any money, or they ran low on money. I don't get it. I mean, I can tell you honestly that several times that has happened here on YouTube to people that I follow. Retro Rick has had it happen to him. Pro Wrestling Unlimited had it happen to them. It's like, these people, are desperate to push this initiative, and yet they don't get that nobody is interested. Nobody wants anything to do with that. And then on top of that, they also hack the account not only to reroute you to the crypto BS, as well as to Kiwi Farms, which again, thankfully the administrators are like, no, this is not right. Something's up. Let's get away from that. You know, it's one thing to do that, but then to also use the X accounts of the founder and the site itself to do the same thing, as well as use the X accounts of the founder and the site to basically display disparaging and hurtful, harmful remarks, all because basically you do not understand or you choose not to understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, what has gotten in? It's like, what are people thinking nowadays, huh? What, you think you're just gonna go out and call people disgusting freaks, and you're gonna use the P word on them and all that, that basically that's gonna cause them to be like, oh, I don't want to deal with these people anymore. You know what? I'm gonna conform. I'm not gonna be a furry anymore. No, I'll be normal. You think that's gonna happen? No, it's not. It's not gonna happen that way. People have a right to like what they like to, people have a right to like what they want to like. They have a right to support what they want to support. Heck, with this election, whether we like both candidates or not, they have a right to choose who they want to vote for to be the next leader of our country. You know, and you have no other say in it. You could try to tell them, hey, go this way or that way, but if they choose to go what they want to do what they want to do, then so be it. So be it. It's not your choice. It's not your choice to condemn them because you choose not to understand. It's like I've said before, in the other videos, as I mentioned earlier. What these people need to do is do what I and others have done when it came to My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. At first we didn't understand it, but over time we contemplated, we sat back, kind of thought to ourselves, okay, there's got to be something to it. Watched some episodes or clips ourselves and started realizing, hey, there is something to this that's actually pretty good. And yeah, for people like me, it took certain characters voiced by Tabitha St. Germain and even Ashley Ball to get me to become a fan. I mean, Tabitha St. Germain's portrayal of Luna and Rarity, that that locked me in, that got me in, and then seeing what Ashley Ball was you know Ashley Ball was doing in her work with Applejack. I mean honestly, it's like you see you see how those characters are portrayed, you see how the show comes off overall, and you're like, hey, there is something to this. And as I said before, it reminded me of shows I used to watch back when I was a kid myself in the 80s and 90s. It had that vibe. It had that vibe. And to me, it's like, to me, it's like I took the opportunity, and I was just checking something right there. There's an ad coming up again, guys, so I do apologize. But it took me, and it took me basically the opportunity to, give it a chance to fully understand that there's nothing wrong here. There is nothing wrong. It took me sitting back, contemplating and everything, and realizing there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, I'm the guy that put up a video here on YouTube saying 12, 13 years ago, saying I respect the fandom and the enjoyment of it, but I'm not a brony. It took me basically less than 4 years, 5 years, for me to turn around and say, hey, I'm a brony. I'm part of the community now. I love these characters. I love this show. I mean, if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have basically asked for October 6th off in 2017, gone on, took a, gone, got up early after my mom left for work, you know, and, got myself ready, took a bus, straight to Turlock, had to stop in Patterson, but then from Patterson to Turlock, took a bus there to go see My Little Pony the movie in theaters on opening day. If I wasn't a fan, I wouldn't have done that. And I did. And I wouldn't have glowed about how good it was here on YouTube if I wasn't a fan. You know? And again, this is coming from somebody that respected it, that didn't understand at first, over time respected it, but wasn't considering themselves part of the community just yet, if at all, to becoming part of it, and then going and doing what I did, going to see the movie, build my collection, as a lot of you have seen, and even giving a chance to Generation 5, because I see that potential. And it's all because I was willing to give it a chance, to sit back and think about, and ask myself, what is it about MLP, FIM, that's gotten people my age, men and women, so enthusiastic about it. And then once I saw what it was, I was hooked myself. I had a good understanding, and I was hooked myself. And that's what these people need to do and that's what people like this SH or others should have done. They should basically take time to contemplate. It's like with any fandom. Excuse me. Take the time to contemplate, and ask yourself, what is it about this fandom and this community, for this franchise, or for this, for this unusualness, unusual creativeness. What is it? What is it that people enjoy? Where's the good? Where's the positive? Take time to think that over. Take time to consider, the positives and not the negatives. Don't be a troll. Whether you're just starting in high school, starting in junior high, starting in college, don't be a troll that does what this guy and his group of friends did. Don't be those kind of people that don't understand, and you just want to go online and troll people and say, oh, they're disgusting freaks and all that, because you don't feel it's cool. And again, from what I've seen, research has proven, and you can go here on YouTube and other places, and they'll tell you similar facts. Research has proven that trolls are just a bunch of people that are bored, have nothing else to do, or they're just a bunch of young individuals that from today's generation that don't, that look at people enjoying MLP, that enjoy being part of the furry fandom, enjoy this or enjoy that they will look at and be like, that's not cool. I'm gonna insult them and call them disgusting because that's not cool. That's not hip. That's what research will show you similar facts that's what it's connected to. And you know how I know? Because there are people that have commented on a lot of my videos throughout the past 16 years that I've been here on this site with this channel. There will be people that will try to bring me down, try to get a reaction out of me. And at times they've succeeded, and at times they haven't. Because over the years, I've realized that all this really is just a bunch of young kids that are bored. They have no other. They have no other. I guess you could say things to do. They are bored. That's what they are. So anytime any of us out there deal with this kind of stuff and people trying to bring us down, either it's by hacking something and then eventually people getting that back from that hacker, but that hacker says, oh, this and that. I want you to take a look at how they word stuff. I mean, when I see them basically putting things like, oh, disgusting freaks and all that, what I see there is just a bunch of young guys or young kids that don't understand and don't find it cool. Really. Really. And this is coming from a bunch of people. Probably the same kind of people, just an assumption, my opinion. But this is coming from a group of people that are probably the same kind that wish places like the YT, that this is being live streamed on, would basically give them what they want. And I can tell you honestly, that is pretty much a fact. Because there are notable YouTube content creators that have basically been attacked by these trolls and everything, all because they don't find that what they do for a living or partial living through their content to be hip or cool. Because again, they don't want to take the opportunity to sit back and understand it. They don't. They don't want to take an opportunity to sit back and contemplate, okay, why does this person do this for a living? And as I told Matt Brunet, Animat, when he was doing his unboxings and everything, his package openings, I sent a letter to him. And I told him that the reason people were going after him is because he wasn't giving them XXX rated material. And they're doing the same with all of YouTube. Because YouTube won't give them that kind of content because it goes against YouTube's policies. I mean, if you ever wonder why basically YouTube, automatic or not automatic, limits people in their availability when they, limits ad availability to monetization and everything, it's because even though they'll allow you to still make money, there are certain things in said video that could be very, I guess you could say, questionable to add, to basically advertisers. They may not want to associate with that, but it's not going to deter you from making money to an extent. And these people need to understand that. So I'm not going to be surprised if those people are pretty much one and the same. I'm not. Because they don't choose to take the opportunity to sit back, and understand why people, support, things like the furry community, like the furry fandom. I mean, it's like I said before. It's like I said 2 days ago. There are people here on YouTube. That dress up in fursuits as the fursonas, which is the furry word equivalent of persona. That dress up in fursuits as the fursonas or characters they are fans of, and interact with people here on YouTube or social media, because what it does for them is it gives them a means of fun, of having fun, and also a means of escapism from that day's, daily grind. From either school or from work, it allows them to go and have escapism. Heck, they might even put the costume on, or the fursuit on, of the fursona or their favorite character, and not do a video and just walk around the house or lounge in the back of the house in the backyard, and just act like the said character for at least an hour, maybe 30 minutes at most, just to escape from the grind of the day. But do the people like this SH guy and those that hacked FurAffinity and have done it in the past, and everything, and have done it to other places, do they care? Do they, do they, respect that? Do they understand that? No, because they think it's weird. It's not cool. It's disgusting. And look, you can have a right to your opinion on how you feel about things, and that's fine. You have all the right to that. But it's one thing to have a right in an opinion, or have a right to an opinion on how you feel about something. It's another to basically allow that opinion that you have to override your senses. You know, it does not make any sense why you would allow your opinion to override your brain. It doesn't. Just all you need to do is, if you're not someone that wants to be a fan, or don't, or you feel like, hey, that's too weird for me, that's too for me, then guess what? Ignore it. Ignore it and keep your opinion to yourself. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. But stuff like this proves that it don't matter what fandom you're a part of. It don't matter, what sites help you celebrate that fandom or the artistic side of, creativity. If somebody doesn't understand it, they don't want nothing to do with it. And that's a shame. And that's a shame. It really is. But the point I'm getting at is all you should do, and I said this before, just take the opportunity to sit back, contemplate, and think to yourself and ask yourself, there has to be some good to this. There has to be positiveness. There has to be good to this. What is it? I want to know. I want to learn. I want to learn so I can have a better understanding and I'm not so judgmental. But again, what this really is at the end of the day, because of all the information we have found out, is just a bunch of young kids that basically don't find the furry fandom or any fandom that might be connected to the furry fandom and community, they don't find it cool. They don't find it hip. And it also shows you how desperate some people are for money, because they go and do what they go and do what this guy does, and basically by doing so, he gets them makes themselves look bad in the long run and gets themselves humiliated. Because they're desperate for money. They don't want to go out and get a real job. The thing is, this kind of stuff, I look at and I say to myself, and I talked about this in yesterday's video. It really makes me wonder if the people behind FurAffinity should eventually look into another server. They should look into another server to host a website that's safer and is more protective from situations like this. Because this is the first time in almost a decade, 8.5 years exact, but almost a decade since the last one in May of 2016. I mean, and here's the thing. I'm trying to think about the right words to say. They've had moments. They have had moments throughout to where they have dealt with minor situations that have not been this bad. But this is the worst it's ever been, as far as I know, since 2016. And it's just going, and it's just something that is going to keep happening unless they do something. Now, I'm sure they're going to work with the people that run the server that the site is hosted on, and try to get more protection for the site so this kind of thing doesn't happen again. But if I'm them, I would also look at another server to host the site on, or another server to create a backup site just in case something like this happens, so that people can transfer their accounts, transfer their accounts and the work and everything over to that, so that way if something happens again to the main site, they could still go to a site, they could go to the backup site and still be able to post things there, and then when the original site goes back online, they'll be able to basically transfer whatever they uploaded there back over to there, and so on. Maybe that's what they need to look into. Maybe that's what they need to do. But I thank God, I thank the Lord that FurAffinity is back online, because there's a lot of people, including myself, that use this platform to support other content creators and support the furry community, the furry fandom, and also to support, or also to, well, not also support, but also to show, to showcase and share our creativity as best we can. So, so to me, again, I'm thankful it's back online. I'm thankful it's working again. But if I'm them, if I'm the people at FurAffinity, I strongly consider looking into another server, potentially to host the site at, as well as I look into maybe maybe another server to, for a backup site as well. Either find another server to put to put the site on that's more protective, more safer from the stuff like this, or just find another server to create a backup site on, just in case this kind of stuff happens again, which hopefully it won't. Because again, people love to share creativity. That's why DeviantArt, is so popular. That's why FurAffinity is the second most popular outside of it, and that's why Ink Bunny is the third most popular outside of FurAffinity, because it allows people to share their creativity. Yes, are there areas that only people of age, 18 and above, can access? Yes, because there are people that do upload and share that kind of artwork, but but again, despite your feelings on that, it's about sharing their creativity. You know, there are people, like I said, that will spend money if they got it to, commission to have fursuits or the personas or the favorite characters made for them to wear, either at conventions or just around the home, so that they can have escapism from the daily grind of that day. There are people that will commission to have the fursona, the OC, put into animations, and everything to interact with other characters, if you will. You know, it's just one of those situations that, again, people that question, support for the furry fandom and the furry community, they need to not be judgmental about. They need to sit back, think for a second, okay, think for a second and ask themselves, what, why is this so popular? Why, do people support it more so than I can count? Why? It has to be some good in it. What's the good? What's the positive? That's what they need to do. So that way, stuff like this doesn't happen, again. It doesn't happen again, and we could just move on, with our lives. I mean, there are people, like I said, that will go on places like YouTube, Rumble, and so on, and dressed up as Fosona ACs or favorite characters, and interact with people. There were people that would just wear, that would just wear the Fursona's, mask, the head, if you will, and interact with people as well. And it's all about escapism. It's all about, for at least an hour, a couple of hours, maybe 30 minutes, escaping the grind of that day that you just went through, either from, a hard day at work or a frustrating day at school. That's it. That's all it really is. But anyway, though, guys, I just wanted to come on here live, talk about everything that's happened. Again, thank the Lord, FurAffinity is back online. But I do hope they kind of talk things over and consider maybe going to another server, that could, be more protective, more safer from stuff like this. Or, going to another server and creating a backup site that would allow people to transfer their accounts over to there. So that way, if something happens to the main site again, they would have that backup site to go to and still be able to, share their creativity and support the creativity of others. But anyway, though, guys, that's all I'm going to say. Thank you all for watching. Again, as I said at the beginning, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. It will really help me out. And as I said as well at the beginning, click on the links in the description to check out where you can find my content elsewhere, as well as to my Teespring store where you can find merchandise you can't find anywhere else. But until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you.